My grandmother was my first great example of a great therapist. She was my anchor in a home that often felt overwhelming. She created structure, and she was my sanctuary. She sat at her kitchen table. That was where I could meet her and have conversations. Her favorite saying was, 吃亏就是占便宜. To suffer a loss is actually to take a gain. It sounds contradictory at first, but what she meant was, even when life felt unfair, there was something of value that was, positive to hold on to. She was a female entrepreneur and faced many, many challenges, but she chose perspective over bitterness. In so many ways, she was the original home therapist. She taught me that feelings were okay, that authenticity mattered more than appearances, and true success isn't about status. It's about living in truth and clarity. That lesson is at the heart of what I call home therapy. Just as she taught me finding the calm in chaos, I help people shape their homes to reflect their authentic selves so that you can feel safe, seen, and supported. Early in my career, I thought the key insights that clients would share with me would be through verbal means. But that all changed when I started making home visits. I would walk into a home, no words spoken yet, but the spaces were speaking volumes already. A pantry in disarray whispered a mom's overwhelm. A bathroom sink, not large enough for two, would set the stage for daily resentment, quietly building between partners. It's a wonder that we don't use our homes more intimately and more intention. It wasn't really my job just to be there to observe design choices. It was my job to witness emotional narratives written in traffic flow, clutter, and forgotten corners. At a home visit, I was helping a young mom with 2 children. She was so frustrated because she was navigating life as a single parent, and she was tired of yelling at her kids all the time, especially by the front door where the baskets of shoes and backpacks were never put away. So I brought in an age-appropriate organization system that encouraged the kids to organize all the things they needed to in an empowering way. And guess what? The less the mom yelled, the more the kids wanted to be independent. The problem is we live in our homes, but we rarely see them. We treat them as containers. Store our stuff, sleep, get dressed, and go. But I've come to believe something very different. Our homes aren't just backdrops. They're active participants in our emotional lives. So what I found was that over time, I noticed patterns. I noticed that the physical layout mirrored the emotional layout. It didn't matter if I was in a city apartment or a sprawling suburban home. Blocked hallways mirrored blocked communication. Cluttered rooms hinted at cluttered minds. Disjointed spaces revealed disjointed relationships. Over time, I also noticed that there was a home visit I wanted to highlight. There was a mom with 3 busy teens, and she was taking on more than her fair share, but she didn't know how to delegate or ask for help. Their laundry room was in the garage, a very uninviting space to do a mundane chore. So we revamped it, made it accessible, we added some aesthetic decor that really invited them to come in, and the whole family switched around and were motivated to do their chores. It was pretty amazing to see. And this mom finally could release that mental load of carrying that chore all those years. sometimes the challenge isn't about neglect, though. It's about too much of everything all at once. A young family's living room was overflowing with toys and a baby pen, a baby swing, everything squeezed into a small space. The kitchen was off to the side. That was convenient, but it added to the cognitive load of visual clutter. It drove everybody crazy. I implemented a hidden storage system. The parents took back their agency. They now could be present with their kids. The exhaustion, the anxiety and resentment that every corner had kids' mess dissipated. The kids were calmer because the parents were calmer. So these are not criticisms, they're invitations. They're our home saying, this is where it hurts. This is where the healing begins. The question now becomes, how do we respond? The first step is to ask yourself, what is the core desire of this space? This is crucial. It doesn't matter about picking paint colors or a lamp. You really have to ask yourself, what is the emotional job of this room? How do I want to feel in this space? Our living rooms aren't just for watching TV. It's about creating a refuge so that you can land at the end of a long day. In your doorway, it's not just the drop zone for your shoes. It's the moment your home says, you're home, you're safe. Once the purpose has been identified, then the design reveals itself. If calm is your goal, gentle textures, soft lighting, and minimal visual noise are your tools. If you want to bring in more energy, bring in bold colors, dynamic art, music, movement. Understanding your organization style also matters. Some of us are savers. We hold on to things because it feels like protection, it feels like memory, and proof that we matter. Others of us are purgers. We like to just quickly get rid of things because too much stuff makes us feel trapped. Or facing the past might be too painful. Neither are wrong. Both are clues. Clues about something we might need more of. Clues about something we are avoiding. Clues about the emotional architecture of our daily lives. I also talk to clients about emotional zoning. Just like a city has different zones for different activities, our homes need zones to support our emotions. A meaningful place to connect. A space for creativity. A space for solitude. A space to land when the world just feels too hard. It's not about adding square footage. It's about adding intention. A chair in a quiet corner in your bedroom, that's your restoration zone. A doorway, it's not just a place to put your shoes, but it's a place of pause. Take a deep breath. That's your grounding zone. And a kitchen table, section it off. Free from clutter, reserve it for heartfelt conversations. That's your communication zone. So all these things are so integral in putting that intention into your home. That kitchen table that my grandmother sat at making dumplings for us, it wasn't about perfection. It was about being present with us. It was about using our home to truly pivot and turn it into a partner for our well-being. And her favorite saying, 吃亏就是占便宜. To suffer a loss is actually to gain an advantage. That lesson taught me peace comes from perspective. And it's forever etched in my soul. It wouldn't have happened. All those sincere conversations I would have with her It wouldn't have happened if the furniture wasn't placed the way it was. She was such an integral part of my growing up, why I became a therapist and then an interior designer. So you might be wondering, where do I start? Choose a place that consistently drains you. Pick a place that you walk past and you just sigh, or you just avoid all in its entirety. Then just sit there. Just sit. It's not about buying anything new. It's not about redesigning your whole house. It's about taking the time to listen and asking, what is the core desire of my space? How do I want this room to help me heal and not just survive? Taking the time to listen is important, because our homes, they've been speaking to us all along. Now is the time to answer.